A Q&A with the political candidates. Learn more right after this.
If you're looking for a new pet that your family will cherish every day, consider adopting from a shelter. Shelters are the best places to find a new pet. That's where you'll discover healthy, loyal, and loving animals, eager to become a part of your family. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet, so bring home your new buddy today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Welcome to Community Watch. Greg.
Doc,
How are you?
you're great.
Well, we're in the season again. We're interviewing candidates, and in this half hour, we'll be talking to county commissioner candidates in seat 3, which is the opposed, the one seat that's opposed in this election. And our very first candidate that we'll be talking to is Allison Waters. And here she is. Allison Waters, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We'll go ahead and get started.
Now this first question will be a 3-part question. Why are you seeking this particular office? How does your resume reflect that you are the best candidate for county commissioner? And what are your leadership and civics experiences?
Well, I'm seeking this office because I felt like we needed change in the commission level. And the priorities that I saw that we needed change in were the ability to collaborate well with other governments, specifically the city, and citizens and civic organizations. I felt like we could do a better job in that arena. The other thing is I have 2 teenage daughters, and when they graduate from college, I want to know that they have a job here, not just a job, but a career that's attractive and that will bring them home. And I think we all as parents want that for our children. As far as my resume, I graduated from Kennesaw State College with a degree in business. Most of my professional experience has been in the area of human resources management. Worked at Redmond Regional Medical Center and another HCA hospital for a number of years as the human resources director, and managed a fairly large staff there. I currently own a retail shop, and so as a co-owner and co-manager, learning how to make all that work has been interesting. And as far as civic or volunteer work, the 2 areas that I've been most active are in animal welfare and our foster child crisis. I'm a co-coordinator for the Faith Coalition for Families, and what that is a group of people who are working to bring the faith community together to address the foster care crisis that we have in Floyd County. And the other area is animal welfare. I'm the coordinator for Claws for Paws. We are a fundraising group that's trying to eliminate the pet overpopulation problem we have here in Floyd County. And I've had the fortune to serve on both of those county boards, so that's where I come from.
Yeah. What specific networks or services are you involved with in Floyd County, and I know you've mentioned some already, that allow you exposure and communication with residents in order to be more informed about the concerns of this community?
Well, certainly the 2 areas that I talked to you about. I think also just I'm very active in my church. I'm a member of First United Methodist Church here in Rome, and we have a fairly large congregation. I'm also a member of the Greater Rome Visitors and Convention Bureau, and that's been a great way to sort of reach out to the community as well. Outside of that, I've just been involved in a variety of volunteer activities, participating in local opportunities to meet and greet folks.
Okay. Are you pleased with the way the city and county are currently working together? Explain if there is something you would change, and what would that be?
I would say overall, yes, and we're very fortunate that we live in a county that has as many joint agreements as we do. Currently we have 23, and that's very high up in the state for those counties that have dual governments. But I do think there's been some animosity from time to time between the two commissions, and I think I bring to the table the ability to collaborate, the ability to listen and understand, and hopefully bring together and bring about more joint opportunities.
Okay. Do you feel that you could adequately represent the minority residents of the county, and why is that?
Well, I would hope so. And in the spring when I was campaigning, it was great to visit some of the minority groups and churches and talk through the issues that we have. You know, if we look at our community, we're very fortunate in that we are very diverse, but we also are still segregated in many ways. Look at our churches and look at some of our activities that we do that we still remain apart. I would want us to look at how we can bring those things about, and I see that our churches are doing that, and I'm very excited about that. So I feel like I am certainly eager to have those conversations and those discussions.
Can you give an example of something that the current county commission is doing well and something you believe they could improve upon?
Well, I think what they're currently doing well is just some of the departments that they manage. You look at our 911 service and emergency management, phenomenal, and it's a joint service, and I think that's great. I think the areas that we could look at that we could do better, human resources management, and that's one of the areas that I'm certainly interested in. We have a high turnover. The city and the county battle for employees. You know, what if we looked at combining that department and looked at paying folks on a similar range, looked at similar employee benefits? Would that stop the swapping back and forth of employees and eliminate that costly turnover?
Many residents are concerned about the essential services for our county, such as road repairs, losing funds to projects that many consider non-essential, such as the new tennis complex. How can you ensure Floyd County taxpayers that they're getting the best value of return on their tax dollars?
Well, and if you look at the tennis center, that was a SPLOST project, and certainly something different than just our local option sales tax. What I want to see is that we generate revenue that doesn't burden the taxpayers. And to do that, we're going to have to be assertive and aggressive in the way we recruit business and industry here. And that, I think, is the way we do it to eliminate the burden on the taxpayer.
Recently, the city of Rome had to switch its water intake to the Etowah River due to high levels of pollution in its primary source. What mechanisms should the county have in place to ensure clean water sources for its customers?
Well, and I think they already do. I think we have very safe water in the county, and I think we will continue to do that. But it's certainly a priority for me and for those I think that serve now to make sure that our water, not just our water, but our air is safe as well.
All right. How are you encouraging businesses and institutions in Floyd County to implement green technology, such as installing solar panels or energy efficient building, and environmentally conscious practices, such as recycling and reducing waste, to keep our soil, streams, rivers, and residents healthy and beautiful?
Well, and I think that's an ongoing dialogue. It's been interesting to hear from the city and the county, and certainly some of our local organizations like CRBI. I think what we do is we continue to have that conversation, and we continue to look at ways to encourage folks to try new renewable sources of energy and that sort of thing. And I think we can do that by working together.
How can we improve the effectiveness of our recycling center? Do you think a move of the center is an answer or not?
I think if you talk to everyone involved, that center needs to be moved. It is an eyesore for North Rome. We've outgrown the capacity. It was never intended to be a recycle center, so it really does not meet the needs of what is being done there. The challenge is funding a new center. We agree that it ought to be moved. The landfill or Walker Mountain is the perfect location. That's what a lot of counties do. The challenge for us is going to be finding those funds, and I think that's on the agenda for the county commissioners.
All right. Do you oppose fracking in Floyd County?
That's a hard question, and I don't know that I know enough to give a good answer. What I do oppose is anyone rushing into it, and I think we've got a good handle on the fact that the state has good guidelines. We have folks who are monitoring that as well, and I think we want to be very careful and we want to be very slow about doing those sorts of things that might jeopardize our children and our grandchildren.
Should the number of commissioners elected be increased from the current 5 to 7 or 9 with the intent of providing a more diverse makeup of membership?
That's a great question. I don't know. You know, you've got a large number on the city, and would a larger number on the county bring about that? I don't know. I think 5 is a good number. I think they work well together, and if everybody shows up when they're supposed to show up, I think things can get done. I think that's a great question. It's certainly something worth talking about.
All right. With a disproportionately large medical community in Floyd County that also serves many of our neighboring counties, we hold the responsibility to innovate our emergency response systems, prepare for disasters accordingly, and to maintain our roadways and utilities to handle this workflow. The medical industry is also vital to the employment of many of our residents. What ideas do you have to improve these valuable resources to our community?
Well, I think to do that, and first let me say we are incredibly fortunate to have the medical community that we do have. It is phenomenal, and I was proud to be a part of that for a number of years. I think what we need is to have dialogue between both of those hospitals, Harbin Clinic, and other independent players, and talk through with city and county officials what are their needs and what can we do to support them. I think working together again and having that dialogue is how that comes about.
The MyRome app is available for city residents to make services requests or report things that need to be repaired. Can this technology idea be adapted to better serve Floyd County residents? And are there other ways communication might be improved in the county?
I think absolutely. I mean, it's great to use that app and report a pothole or whatever you see out and about in the city. But I think as we move forward, we know that technology is changing rapidly and daily, and I expect that the county will be on board with that as well.
All right. When selecting people to serve on committees, what process is used? And do you consider that process to be fair? Would you support a system to select a broader representation of citizens?
As I understand it, if you wish to serve on a board, you fill out an application. It goes in, it's a profile, and it goes in with the county clerk. And then when positions become available, you're reviewed and the commissioners review those. What I would like to see is that we do a better job of letting folks know in the community what our needs are. Because I can say that I've never really known what they are, and I think that's an opportunity to make sure we get the people who have the most interest and the most experience in that area for that board. The board should not be just about a monthly meeting and a lunch. It needs to be about getting things done and making changes.
Rezoning decisions in recent years have put residential areas at risk in order to support industry. What would be your priority as a commissioner, protecting residential areas or supporting industry?
Well, I think you do both. And I think that's what they've been doing, and I think we would continue to do that. We want to make sure that as a homeowner, and I know you too, Phil, as a homeowner, you want your property protected, but we also have areas that are designated for development of business and industry, and we need that because that's what's going to increase our revenues and help us to give better services and more services to our county residents.
Okay. Probably don't have time for another response. That was good. Thank you so much for being with us, Allison Waters. And we'll be right back after this, talk to our next candidate. So don't go away.
My college offers classes that meet my educational and career goals.
With opportunities outside of the classroom.
Where the faculty know me by name.
My college can prepare me for my career.
I can earn an associate's degree and transfer credits to a bachelor's.
My college is a state college within the university system of Georgia.
My college offers courses that fit my schedule.
It's where excellence begins.
We are.
We are.
We are.
We are GHC, Georgia Highlands College.
Welcome back to Community Watch, and we've been joined by our next candidate for County Commissioner, Mr. Bo Arendt, Democratic candidate. Welcome.
Well, thank you.
We're going to go ahead and get started with the questions.
Well, this first question is a three-part question. Why are you seeking this particular office? How does your resume reflect that you are the best candidate for County Commissioner? And what are your leadership and civic experiences?
Well, to answer your first question, why am I seeking this office? It kind of coincides with the second question that you gave me. As many may know, I'm a paramedic here with Floyd EMS, and I respond everywhere to this county. Going inside people's homes and speaking with them on a day-to-day basis, hearing the different issues that are within this county, as well as responding and seeing the demographic areas in this county, and seeing the need. My natural instinct or natural abilities or my skill set and experience has been in the past and currently is to help people. And so I have that continual urge to want to help people, and I think at the level of a commissioner, it's a different level. I take care of people with the quality of their health, but the quality of life is different. And I see there's some growth that could go on here in Floyd County as far as helping the quality of life, and I'd like to be a part of that. As far as my background experience, that's it, man. I'm a patient advocate. I listen to people's needs. I hear their problems all the time, so that's nothing. It would be nothing new to me. I'm a boots on the ground type person, and I think with the job that I have, by being involved with the community a lot, I'm a health board member. I'm part of the Alzheimer's committee. A lot of different civic things that I do, being involved with people, being close with them, hearing again the needs, and seeing the things that go on, give me close contact with them, and gives me the insight of what I know and how I am as an advocate already. I can usher in some of those concerns to the government seat and try and help everyone out. So.
Okay. What specific networks or services are you involved with in Floyd County that allow you exposure and communication with residents in order to be more informed about the concerns of this community?
Well, like I just mentioned, I sit on the health board. Health, you meet a lot of people and different people that come through that arena. Just as a medic, like I said, where I work now, I'm exposed to a lot of different people in a lot of different areas. And so, and you hear a lot of things. When you're in the back of that ambulance, it's one-on-one. It's you and that patient, or you in that house. And yeah, though they tell you a lot of things going on with their medical, but you hear a lot of different things that go on with them as well, and their concerns. And so that tugs at your heart a little bit. And so those are things I'm involved with that keep me in close contact or gives me that exposure.
Are you pleased with the way the city and county are currently working together? Explain, and if there is something you would change, what would it be?
I am pleased with how they're working together. I think the county and city is making some strides to try to work together. There's always room for improvement. I had a meeting with my director at my job about some things in my job, and he asked me, well, is there anything that you would change at my job? And I kind of look at it as the same with the county and the city, and I said, there's nothing I would change, but it's something I would add. And I think it'd be the same thing I would add with the county and the city government, and that's communication. I think continuous communication will bring about what needs to be changed. There'll be things that on both sides are here, oh, well, maybe we didn't look at this way, or maybe there's some areas that we should look at and we should change. So when you don't properly communicate, I don't think you'll see the room for change, or room for growth, or room for some type of together project that could be beneficial. So change, I would add more communication.
All right. Do you feel that you could adequately represent the minority residents of the county, and why is that?
Yes, I believe I can represent the minority residents of this county. First, let me mention this. I am the only African American paramedic within 6 counties. And so I think I represent myself well in the EMS field, and stay with a positive attitude and try to live as an example to those who are maybe looking going in the field. I try to stay involved within the community and do a lot of positive things. When we had the giving away school supplies, I cut all types of little boys' hairs for that. But it gives a light, being a minority myself, it gives a light of the type of leadership that you can be and the positive images that are out there in the community, and another avenue of how to change, be the change, and stay positive. So.
Can you give an example of something that the current county commission is doing well and something you believe they could improve on?
I think the current commissioners are doing well with their budgeting. Tight as it is, they're managing very well. We're not over underspent. What I think they can do better, and that goes back to the communication with other local governments and surrounding government, to really try to get our economy going. I think the other counties, the outside counties, particularly Bartow, are growing because, yes, they do have the highway going, but we have some things that we can better in our infrastructure, but I think we could do better in communicating and collaborating more with outside agencies to try to network and get bigger and better businesses here for our citizens.
All right. Many residents are concerned about the essential services for our county, such as road repairs, losing funds to projects that many consider non-essential, such as the new tennis complex. How can you ensure Floyd County taxpayers that they are getting the best value of return on their tax dollars?
Well, you first have to really research some of these projects. You have to, make sure that decisions we're going to make is going to be in the best interest of Floyd County as a whole. I think more importantly is being transparent. There may be some things that are going on with these projects that the citizens may not know about. But I think transparency and thorough investigation and research and putting it out on the table, letting people know this is what's you're going to get. This is what we're not going to get, and really engage them. Start getting them more engaged and making some appearances to discuss their discrepancies or problems that they have with some of these projects, to where the commissioners can hear their voice and make adjustments and changes accordingly.
Recently, the city of Rome had to switch its water intake to the Etowah River due to high levels of pollutants in its primary source. What mechanisms should the county have in place to ensure clean water sources for its consumers?
One thing I do know that the county has done is we tapped into I believe it's the Everett Springs, where it's a well-type water, and so we're doing better means in different resources in water. And I believe that the county and the city, for that most part, are doing an excellent job of trying to ensure that our waters are safe. I'm not a big, I have no big knowledge base about how their system works, but what I do know is I think we're all trying to do a good job of ensuring that the water is safe, and in tapping into different streams, different areas, and how to obtain water and how to better our system where it's more efficient and better for our citizens.
All right. How would you encourage businesses and institutions in Floyd County to implement green technology, such as installing solar panels or energy efficient building, and environmentally conscious practices such as recycling and reducing waste to keep our soil, streams, rivers, and residents happy and beautiful?
Well, one good thing here in Floyd County, we have on the Berry campus, we have a green team. I don't know what the exact name of that team, but I think their research is in that field. And so we have a tapped resource here that if we work well with them and do some investigation in other areas and some of those newer technological ideas that are efficient, start researching and working with them, seeing what the costs are, and but I would first start work with our Berry team. I think, and doing that, and we come up with something real great. I think it'd be something to give for outside areas that might want to adapt and utilize our resources and have some business agendas from that. And so I think first starting with them, still continue doing researches, and just being bold and start implementing. I think going green and recycling, all that is not only safe for environment, but cost efficient for counties and everywhere.
How can we improve the effectiveness of our recycling center? Do you think a move of the center is an answer or not?
I definitely believe that the move of the cycling center would be beneficial in the North Rome area, particularly that we're talking about. You know, listen, when we talk about growth, that North Rome, that particular area, it's Gary. You got 4-lane highway. It's going up towards Calhoun and 75. So that's a major pull of traffic coming through. The area and what I know about the building, it's not quite safe for the residents over there. We want our areas to be attractable. Attractability brings businesses. It makes the residents feel good where they live. I just think the particular recycling area where we have it now could be moved to a better area.
All right. Do you oppose fracking in Floyd County?
No, I don't oppose it. I just will make sure that we're doing it within the guidelines. But no, I don't oppose it.
Do you feel that you could, should the number of commissioners elected be increased for the current 5 to 7 or 9 with the intent of providing a more diverse makeup of membership?
I believe the makeup should be, you should represent any entity or county or city that you live in. I think representation of, first of all, qualified personnel should sit on the board, but definitely it should be a makeup, a representation of those in the community or in your county.
All right, well, thank you. We're about out of time for this segment, but we'll be back after this. Do not go away.
My college offers classes that meet my educational and career goals,
with opportunities outside the classroom,
where the faculty know me by name.
My college can prepare me for my career.
I can earn an associate's degree and transfer credits toward my bachelor's.
My college is a state college within the university system of Georgia.
My college is affordable.
it's close to home.
My college has online opportunities. It's where excellence begins.
We are
GHC, Georgia Highlands College.
Welcome back to Community Watch. We have been interviewing candidates for County Commissioner Post 3, Republican candidate Allison Waters and Democratic candidate Bo Arendt. Elections coming up soon. Definitely make plans to vote. It's a big election. And look forward to other Community Watch shows with additional candidate interviews. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you next time.